Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? I got another question online asking me about picking up that third base coach when they're running. They said they've played on a team now where one team they coaches wanted their players to always pick up the third base coach, and on another team, um, he said that basically it was the runner's job to decide when they go to third base, and the coaches didn't want them to pick up the third base coach. And he wanted me to ask, what's right? Do you want to pick him up? Do you not want to pick him up? He was confused. So there's actually two answers for this. Usually, picking up the third base coach will depend on your age. So if you're younger, if you're in Little League or Babe Ruth, and sometimes even high school coaches will want you to do it, they'll want you to pick up the third base coach all the time on every ball that's hit. And then there's other coaches at the high school level that won't want you to, but then usually in college and professionally where the uh, the responsibility is placed on the base runner to decide when to go to third base and not the third base coach. So let's break them both down. Let's start off with at a younger level where you're supposed to pick up the third base coach, where your coach wants you to pick him up on every ball. A couple things to think about. The first thing is when you're picking him up, what I see a lot of young kids do wrong is, let's say you're on first base, balls hit someplace in the outfield, and you're making your way to second base, starting to make your turn. What you want to do is you want to pick up your third base coach when you get right about here. So you pick him up and you see what he's telling you to do. Let's say he's telling you to go. You pick him up, you see that he's saying to go. You're going to continue to make your turn. You're going to pick up the base now, touch the inside part of the base, and then once you touch the base and you're making your way to third, you're going to pick him up again. Because maybe something happened in the outfield and he's going to hold you. Or maybe he held you at the when you first looked up. Now you touch the inside part of the base, but now the outfielder bobbled it. You need to pick him up again. And he might be telling you to, let's go, let's come to third base. So it's always pick up your coach here, pick up the base, pick up your coach again. Okay? And that's the same for everything. You're rounding third base, same thing. You pick up your coach, see what he's telling you, you pick up the base, then you pick him up again. He's going to be down in this area down here. So it's always pick up your coach, pick up the base, pick up your coach. Now, to get more into this actual question, let's say we're at a higher level. At a higher level, and I think even in high school, I think you should be able to make a decision on your own. There's nothing the third base coach can tell you that you don't already know. If you're a high school player, you should be able to do it. Now, I understand some high school coaches are going to want to make all the choices themselves and they want to make the decision, and that's fine. But I would say that you should be able to make a decision on your own because when you get to college, and especially if you ever get to professional baseball, it's all on you. The only time that we'll pick up a coach in professional baseball, and even in college, I would make all the decisions on my own. The only time where you really need a third base coach's help is on a ball right down the right field line where we lose track of it, and now we need to pick up the third base coach to the side because it's tough to run and look over our shoulder way back here. But even on those balls, a lot of times you can get a pretty good feel as you're running right about here and you peek over. With experience, you'll understand if how far he's got to go to get the ball and if you can make it. But that's the one time that you might want to pick up your third base coach. So I think it's important to not always rely on your coach because at one point or another in your career, if you keep progressing in baseball, you're going to have to make the decisions. So understand where the outfielders are playing. Always pick up your outfielders when you're on first base or second base. But when you're on second base and you're going to score, you're going to pick up your third base coach, obviously. This is more just talking about when you're on first base, we're not going to have to use him all the time. So understand where your outfielders are playing, even on first base. Take a look so you know if you can make it first or third. Know their arm strength, and then know where the ball's hit. If the ball's hit to right center and the outfielder's moving away from third base, well, then you can go to third base pretty easily. If the ball's hit to left center and the center fielder is moving towards third base, well, now we might have to shut it down. So know their arm strength, know where they're moving, know where they're playing. Put all those together, and you should be able to decide. If you've played baseball enough, if you're old enough, you should be able to decide whether or not to go. So I hope this kind of helps you out. I know it's a tough question to answer because all coaches are different, what they're going to tell their players to do. But I think you want to get in the habit of making your own decisions, especially if you're old enough, because you're the base runner. Everything's in front of you. There's nothing the third base coach knows that you don't know, or that you should know everything the third base coach knows, and you should be able to make the decision. So hope this helps you out. If you have any more questions about it, let me know. Good luck, guys.